maybe it is his postseason debut, and I'm sure that there's obviously a chance that he just gets sort of stage fright with that. But there's not enough made of. Well, I think the broadcast actually do bring it in a bit, but because it's so easy, you've searched someone's base reference page and you just get whacked with their 2019 numbers. What's really, really key is like their September and their August numbers. But like
Yeah,
if a guy in his last six, it didn't actually work out for Sean Manaea, so this seems a bit silly. Sean Manaea was brilliant in his few starts at the end of the year,
but they
but
was also just coming off injury, I suppose. So.
yeah, but with Flaherty, it's like there's no sign of like any tiredness at all, is there? Whereas, for instance, if you flip it and like Ryu had a slightly difficult second half of the season, didn't he? So
Yeah,
his season numbers, which are glittering because he was awesome in the first half, are actually, you can't take them with a pinch of salt. That we don't really know what we're going to get from him in the playoffs. Whereas with Flaherty, I'm expecting him to be completely dominant tonight.
yeah. So you're going firmly Cardinals
Yeah, it might
to
be a
win that.
Cardinals in three, actually.
Yeah, what you put it down to the pitching staffs.
Yeah, and that they're going home for game three.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
quite
I mean,
difficult to look past that now, isn't it? Really.
it's a real shame because I thought that could have been a belting series, but unfortunately that Chris Martin injury really, really hurt the Braves. They got their triumvirate of relievers they got at the deadline, and then that messed up Melanson. I think we spoke about in the last pod, didn't we, about the old school closers. One of them is Melanson, who they tried to get up and down,
Yeah,
and it went belly up,
it's
and
nice, isn't
that
it,
was it. Was it because of that injury to Chris
when all
Martin?
our thoughts get proved right.
Yeah, and pretty quickly this time,
Yeah,
within like
but
within a few days.
that's basically the perfect example of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
We even named him as one of those sorts of closers.
yeah, and it seemed like a risk at the time, but I guess that they were put in a difficult position. He set up his pitching staff to carry him to the end of the game, and then Chris Martin came out, and this is oblique, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, so I guess that means he's out for the rest of the series, at least.
There's no news yet, as far as I can see, but yeah, the probably means he's cooked, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, really. I mean, I think I know. I mean, we saw it, didn't we? We saw the don't bring Melanson in, you know, for multiple innings. So I think potentially you can even put that game on the manager. To be honest.
Okay, I think Chris Martin's been cut.
Oh right, okay.
He's injured, so he's out for at least the series. Julio Teheran has come onto the roster.
Is that yeah? That's. I mean, yeah, that's going to make the difference, isn't it? Julio Teheran.
Yeah, who know? I don't know what their plan will be with that,
I think that is
but that was
basically
a real shame for them.
that's basically the Braves' weakness at the moment, isn't it? I think is their. Oh, well, they've got a couple of young guys who've obviously come through and started being really good, but they need a few more guys that they know they can rely on.
I don't really know what I think of it. I like the flexible pitching as an idea, but I do wonder whether some of these young guys that they're not sure of as starters, where they should maybe go all in on them as relievers because they're
Yeah,
so desperate for a bullpen. They've moved them all around a fair bit, haven't they, so far?
yeah, yeah. Well, I think Soroka and Max Fried are like now pretty much nailed in the rotation, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like,
Although Freed came out of the pen yesterday,
oh right,
even
well,
though he's
that's
due to start in the series.
oh okay. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite a shame, but I think I'd down the manager. I mean,
Well, the
it's
Melanson thing.
yeah. It
Yeah,
does
it's not
seem like
great.
I don't know. It feels like there's I don't know that maybe we actually we somehow see stuff that managers don't sometimes. I swear there's like a list of pictures that well we listed them off in the last podcast that almost exclusively every single time you try multiple innings with them, it goes wrong. Like, someone should really look at their numbers of when they're doing multiple innings, when they've come in after they've sat down, come back in after they've had to go and sit down for a half an inning, what their numbers are. Because like those group of guys, although the sample size would be pretty small,
I think that's part of it, and I also suspect that the numbers might not be that bad, because quite often, I know I've seen it with Kimbrel before, where they try and do it, and he doesn't actually screw it up completely, but he gets himself in such a mess. Like a sort of walks two, gives up a bloop, so they score 1 run, but it doesn't end up a blown save, and he ends up having to like strike someone out with the bases loaded to win the game. Yeah. And it's like, actually, the numbers from that aren't a disaster. That's, he still got the job done. But there's also was maybe a sign that he didn't have it because he came out.
Although it does happen to Craig Kimbrel quite a lot now, but I know what you're talking about. Like with those sort of guys, when usually they've been dominant like all year, even for the past few years. Sometimes it's like that never usually happens when they're, when they come in the ninth. Maybe if they blow a save, the odd couple of saves they blow a year, they'll give up like a game-tying home run or something. But it's like it absolutely never happens where they walk multiple guys in a row and then give up a base hit. But it seems to happen. That sort of thing seems to happen relatively often when you try and use the multiple innings. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. It's obviously I'm not. Yeah, I really love the multiple. The multiple inning relief stuff. Like I really love all the the fancy like innovative relief like relief pitch usage people are doing. But I think that there are just certain guys that it just doesn't work with.
It's about not just applying it applying it crudely again. It's obviously it's a picture by picture thing. It's also like probably not asking
and just using your brain for each individual situation rather than just applying some blanket rules to every situation and every player.
I suspect there's probably a thing as well with not asking the players if you're okay to do 4 outs, because I don't really care if they're fine.
Well, as we know from Melanson as well, I think if the manager asks him, if he's okay to do something, I think that absolutely will always say yes. As we know, well, I'm on about his injury. Remember when he was injured and was just pitching with an injury and really being really, really quite bad.
When
but
the
he
team
just pitched
was
with
bad
an injury
as well.
for half a year. I think wasn't there stuff that even for a while, like, people didn't know about it. Like he didn't want to let people know that he was injured and stuff. But instead, all the Giants fans got on his back because he was just. Sorry, that's probably not great. Because he was blowing saves and stuff, but it's because he was pitching with an injury. It's like, just you're not helping anyone. Just don't pitch with an injury. But I think he's that sort of character probably that is, he's always going to have confidence in himself or probably like a lot of closers are, to be honest, or just probably sportsmen in general. They're always going to have confidence in themselves to do absolutely anything.
Yeah,
so if you ask them if they can do this, they're not going to say no.
But it does mean you can't rely on what they're going to say.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Then,
yeah, it's a good thing, I think, for the most part. It's just
the confidence is obviously good, but that's what I mean. Is like
you shouldn't trust them. Basically,
while
that may sound a bit mean, is you shouldn't trust. This might be a bit blanket,
or at least
you shouldn't trust the athletes. They're always going to back themselves.
To evaluate their own ability. Basically,
I suspect because you don't really want them to be able to evaluate their own ability a lot of the time.
No, they need to believe that they're the best.
Say I'm not that good. Yeah, and the trouble with that is it means that that's an unshakable belief. Is I can do this, and it's like, well, no, you can't, mate. Your arm's fallen off.
Yeah. Anyway, quickly, we need to go on to the next one. And this is the point actually about how long ago it was like half an hour ago, when I said I'll come back to that. Where I was talking about defense and it losing you games. I don't know if you saw any of that game yesterday.
Which game?
The Nationals Dodgers.
No, I didn't.
but I saw a bit of it, and well, I don't know if they both actually officially count as errors, but there was a couple of basically misplays by Howie Kendrick at first base early in the game that led to runs being scored in that inning. So yeah, essentially, I mean, although it was 6-0, it's those runs aren't the ones that made the difference. I mean, it definitely changes the tone of the game and everything. So I don't know. It felt like they'd lost the game early on. Basically, I think. I mean, actually, I need to see the scoreboard. Actually, I can't quite remember. But it's they just gave away runs, pretty much, is what I'm saying, with bad defense.
Yeah, which isn't a good formula, to be honest.
Not do.
Particularly if you're not planning on getting any hits.
Like, they may not have won that game, but they would have had a better chance of winning that game if they did not give away those runs. I mean, actually, it wasn't that early on. Okay, they weren't that far down, but I think he might have misplayed one in the first. Maybe.
I think I'd say having the same number of hits as errors is bad. In general, as a formula for playing baseball, that is bad.
They probably wouldn't have won because they didn't have any offense either. But it's just unnecessary. Giving away runs is very, very costly in this, because now, well, it's Kershaw next, isn't it? And they were already the underdogs in this series, and I give them almost no chance now at all, to be honest.
Is Kershaw against Strasburg, though?
Against who?
Is Steven Strasburg against Kershaw?
Is he going to be pitching, though? Because he came out...
That's what Baseball Reference has. It seems surprising, but I don't know. I mean, they can't really afford to run someone else out there. And it is Kershaw in the postseason, so, anything's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is, but I mean, they basically have to win this, don't they? I mean, it's the same for the Braves, which is why you don't really think they're going to do it. Is that you can't go 2-0 down in a best of 5.
This is why I think the division series, and it is one thing touched upon in my article about changing the postseason. The division series should go to 7 games as well. I just think 5 is a bit too short.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to actually stop now. But do you agree with I guess, the Dodgers winning?
It probably will be the Dodgers.
Yeah. So I think we're going to do another one after the division series and before the championship series. Is that the idea?
Yeah, if there's any time, hopefully we'll try and fit one in after game 1 or something like that.
Like this again.
Yeah.
See you then.
Yeah.
Anyone
Bye.
listening. Goodbye.